Hello.
What's up, bitches?
What's happening, audience? Some nostalgia right there. Ray William Johnson.
Oh shit. That's not what I wanted to do.
Ah!
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Video Store Movie Club episode 2. We were supposed to do this by the end of last month. We fucked up.
What happened, Nazario? What happened?
I personally blame Mike.
No.
I don't remember, but I had some shit to do last week. So here we are.
Yeah.
Payson, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yes. Welcome to the Video Store Movie Club. Every month we come together, we pick a theme, and we discuss 3 movies based off that specific theme. This month's theme was chosen by our dear Mike Hanley. Mike, who are we covering today?
We're covering the legend himself, Bill Moseley. Which everyone knows, of course. Look at that face.
Of course, yeah. You know, it's funny, like, watching all 3 of the movies we watched this month, it was kind of tough to figure out what he actually looked like, because in all of them he either has like big deep like makeup on or like a big beard. It's funny seeing him now. He kind of looks like a skinnier John Fetterman, and I'm like, looks like a badass.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised Mike did not pick Army of Darkness for this.
Because he's a part of it, but he's not like prevalent through the whole thing.
I know, but it's an excuse to watch Army of Darkness.
Yes, but if I'm gonna pick something, I'm gonna pick movies like prevalent. Damn it.
Fair.
Mike,
Yeah.
Why did you pick Bill Moseley?
Because, you know, with this type of show, I think it's a good time to actually highlight people that in this community never get brought up at all. So I figured, hey, you know what? Let me pick somebody that I really enjoy in movies, that have 3 movies that are wild and show the range that this man has with makeup and with psychotic abilities.
The second part is excellent. Yes. I actually think Bill Moseley is pretty underrated, because the guy is fucking solid. Like, he may be in some weird ass shit, but he's giving it his all.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll come right out and say it. I didn't love everything we watched this week, but like he's always giving his all and is having a ton of fun. So like I'm happy I watched everything this month. We'll get into my altering emotions. Like, one of the movies I had like a lot of fun watching. One of the ones kind of made me want to hang myself, and the other one was like pretty cool. But yeah, let's talk about the movies. The movies we did tonight. Mike, you tell them the movies we watched, actually.
We went through Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, The Devil's Rejects, and Repo the Genetic Opera.
What a eclectic selection of films.
They could have went the easy route.
Which one do you guys want to start?
I say we go chronological.
Yeah.
You're okay? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So Texas then.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Who wants to hit the plot synopsis for this one?
Plot? What the fuck are you talking about?
Good point.
I shall save myself for the next one.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll try to give you a plot for this.
So I have to do the plot for Repo the Genetic Opera. I love it.
So, the Sawyer family. You know him, you love him from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's a bunch of fuckers that like to kill people and put them in the dinner table for some reason.
Psycho grandpa.
This is more of the same, except batshit insane. Like, it actually one thing I realized while I was watching this and The Devil's Rejects is that the plots are kind of similar. The lawman that shows up is looking for revenge
Yeah.
on a family member that was killed by the family in question. In this case, it's Dennis fucking Hopper,
It's Dennis Hopper.
and he what is his name? Lefty. He's
Lefty.
like, I'm gonna fucking kill these motherfuckers. And then he's like a lawman, but he's not really like enforcing any law. He just wants to fucking
No.
kill him.
He's fucking insane.
And he goes to a radio station and he convinces the host to speak about the shit of the fucking Sawyers are doing, right? And they don't like this, so they decide to show up at the radio station and take care of business. And by this I mean killed everybody in the radio station, which they may or may not achieve. But like every Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it has Leatherface, it has chainsaws. They eventually go to the Sawyer farmhouse. They have dinner. Grandpa's there,
Yeah. With his fucking
and there are
mallet.
chainsaws flying around. So I think basically that's what this movie is about.
Yeah, that's an easy plot synopsis of it without giving too much away.
Yeah. I'll start off. I'll be honest. I have not seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I hear it is incredible. I hear it's a seminal film in the horror lexicon. Knowing what
Wait. You watched a part 2 without watching the first one? What kind of
Look,
movie
so-
fan are you?
Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And I was like, you know what? Let's come at this from an altered perspective. 'Cause I
So
know
you
guys-
didn't watch A House of a Thousand Corpses either?
believe it or not, no, I did not. Nosario. I did not even know that one. I just thought those were both Rob Zombie movies. I learned pretty quickly on, oh, this is a sequel.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah, knowing what the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, does this movie have a completely different tone than the
Oh,
original?
One
this
thousand
It was way more like over the top than I would have thought the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was.
This movie, for this movie, Toby Hooper was actually insisted that he made a sequel for a long time. This movie is like 10 years after the first one or something like
10
that.
years, yeah.
And he basically said, yes, I'm not going to do the same movie. And they say, but we want you to do the same movie. So he basically had a very, very similar plot. But he decided to flip the tone. I don't know if it was successful, but he flipped it.
It has
Yeah.
definitely become a cult film over the years, and people love the shit out of it.
No, 100%. Like, I'm not sure if this movie was completely successful for me. I had a lot of fun while watching it. Like, from the first moment when I realized this was a Canon Pictures production, I was like, okay, this means this movie's gonna be super cheap,
Yeah.
but super like grindy and like low budget and just disgusting, and I was gonna love every minute of it. I didn't love every minute of it, but like it fulfilled all those cheesy goodness parts. Mike, what do you think about the tone of this movie?
Oh, I enjoy the shit out of the tone. I love that when they take a sequel and they go, do you know what? We're just going to go completely insane with it because at this point, they are basically forcing me to do one. So I'm just going to go fucking bonkers. And he does. You have Dennis Hopper who shows up and just starts destroying their house or the ground that they're staying at, just without even seeing any of them. He just starts automatically destroying it with the chainsaw. It's wacky shit from the beginning of the opening with the opening kills. Like, it's just fucking bananas.
The fucking yuppies.
Yeah.
That opening kill with the two chuckle fucks in the car.
I'll say this: like we do say we have favorite scenes from the movie, right?
Oh yeah.
That is a top ass contender.
Honestly,
When they jump in top of the car with the dead guy, and you see like the fucking dead body just shaking, and you don't understand what is happening until you realize he's been puppeteered by fucking Leatherface, and then he starts the fucking chainsaw and shoots the guy in the head. That's a great fucking scene. That's a great.
Yeah, and like I genuinely thought Stretch was kind of a fun main character. Like it feels weird, but like it sounds like she's doing a Holly Hunter impression, but then you realize Holly Hunter didn't really become big until like a year later. So like as Holly Hunter, did she just see like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2? And is she just imitating this actress in every performance? What did you guys think of Stretch?
Oh,
I like her.
yeah, yeah. I think she's a great hero for this movie, and I love that she does have that same, just like the original, where she's a victim at first, and then she becomes the badass hero towards the end in an insane way.
I actually really like the fact that she kind of put Leatherface in his place when he was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
kill her. Although let's be honest, this is probably one of the weakest Leatherfaces of the series.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like, I mean, the way he looks, it's goofy as shit. And then the way he behaves, like in that scene that I'm referring to, it makes her look good, but doesn't make him look good. And I do like the fact that when she finally beats all the odds and survives, like she gets to do the fucking chainsaw dance
yeah.
out of pure joy, out of a survivor's joy or whatever.
Joy
No,
and madness, because she's basically gone insane at that point with everything she's experienced through this fucking insane family.
and like just with that ending scene, I think that shows you like the tone Hooper was going for. Because like in the first, like I know how the first one ends, and the first one it feels like you feel like you just escaped watching Leatherface just like flail all around. You're
Yeah,
watching this and you're like, wow, madness actually exists out there like this. This one is just fun. Like you see her doing that, and you're like, this was a riot. Um, I want to ask you guys who was your favorite character in this, but I think we're all gonna probably have the same feeling, and it's the reason we're doing this show. Bill Moseley is awesome as Chop Top.
yeah. Like that fucking wig in that opening scene of him just coming in and rubbing his fucking head with the goddamn hanger, and you're wondering what he's
Why
like.
was he eating his own skin?
That they're cannibals. That's what they fucking do. And this dude is just insane. And the moment that Leatherface comes and like fucking almost takes his goddamn head off, you get to see that he has a metal plate in his head, and that's what he's been scratching this whole fucking time.
Yeah,
He's also the twin brother of the hitchhiker from the original.
yeah.
Which you look at
See,
both of them and you go, yeah,
watch the fucking thing,
no.
basically.
No. I will absolutely watch the original. Trust me, I'm not gonna skip out on that one. But like, I just love how like he's not like the main villain in this
Oh
movie,
yeah, not at all.
but he has so much presence in this movie that he completely steals the spotlight from every other character.
Yeah. Yeah, he has this performance he does is fucking bananas and insane, but like Payson brought up, it completely steals the movie. He steals the movie from everybody just by this small performance that he does.
No, yeah, and like him just yelling shit like Ho Chi Minh to like scare people. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Toby Hooper? But like, I was in. I was honestly in. Like, I cannot call this a great movie, but my God, like you look at like 80s horror at the time. This is peak 80s horror for me. I'm just like, let's just go balls to the wall. Talking about memorable scenes, like the scene where Leatherface puts the mask on Stretch and just starts dancing with her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting disturbing.
I like the scene where he's supposed to kill her and she dominates him, talking about fucking her with a chainsaw,
No,
and how he kind of like acts out like he was going to, and then he cannot really perform, and then he just runs away. And then when Chop Top is like, "Hey, you took care of her," and she's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
hiding his masculinity. It's a weird scene.
no, it's a very weird scene and a very weird movie.
I will say though, if you say like straight up, like favorite scene from the movie, like the opening kill is actually pretty up there. But I have to go with Lefty versus Leatherface. The chainsaw face-off at the end, where they don't only fight with the chainsaws. After somebody gets chainsawed in the belly, two smaller chainsaws come out,
Yeah.
and that is like the achievement and also the failure of this film for me. Like I would have preferred if I guess I would have preferred if they went like full horror with it, like a darker sequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then again, we wouldn't have fucking chopped up. So I don't know. It's a mixed experience for me.
Look, I'm gonna compare this movie to a better movie. I want to be clear. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is not as good as the movie I'm about to compare it to. But would you describe Toby Hooper making this movie as similar to Tim Burton making Batman Returns? Of like they wanted him to come back and they wanted him to come back and do another one, and Tim Burton says, "Okay, I will, but I'm gonna make it completely different. I'm gonna make it my movie."
Yes, and he did it, but I don't think Toby Hooper did like this is not Toby Hooper style movie. I think he just wanted to try something different,
Yeah.
which he
He
did.
definitely wanted to try something different with this one.
If you guys had to pick like an overall favorite scene, what would you say your favorite?
I said chainsaw versus chainsaw with little chainsaws.
Yeah, and I'll go with introduction of Chop Top and the kill of LG Peters. How he just like not even like not the kill, but basically how they incapacitate him by just using the fucking hammer and just keep smashing him over the head, and he's just making fun of him while he keeps smashing him over the head. And it just
By the
shows
way,
how brutality.
Speaking of hammers, fucking grandpa still has it.
Oh yeah, and like they like just like the first one, they basically have to do it for him because he's so fucking old. The man and decrepit, he just can't fucking handle the goddamn mallet to the face.
No, that scene is brutal. Where like you're watching this torture scene, but like they're not even like able to properly torture.
Yeah.
And then my favorite scene is probably that opening kill. Just watching those like idiots on the car, just like shit talking on the radio, and then Leatherface just. I honestly thought Stretch was just gonna start playing the murder recording on the radio just to start traumatizing people, but no, that's not how it went. If I were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd probably go 3 stars. Like I think it's a decent movie overall that does its job. Mike, before the singles champion chimes in, what would you give this movie?
I'll give it 4 stars. Good fucking movie. I always have a good fucking time with this. I've seen it as a little kid, and I continue to watch it to this day.
As a little kid. Nice. 2.5. Very split. Yeah.
Okay.
Very split. I love some stuff in it, but it's a weird experience because I want a type of movie that this movie is not. And then when it goes to the other side, I say like, okay, let's go full farce with this shit, and they don't do that either. So it doesn't really know what it wants to be, and there are great things in both sides of it, but they never mix. Like it never feels like there's a cohesive tone. It's just fucking weird. So since it doesn't commit, I guess I'm like 50-50. I'm not sure I will watch it again. I think I would rather watch again the original.
Nazario, where's your belt?
It's in the other room because I forgot to bring it, and it's too hot.
Go grab it.
Okay, I'll go get my belt. Do you guys give me a second?
What do you think you're just gonna let him forget the bit of every time he wanted to make a grandstanding opinion? He would grab the belt and say,
Yeah.
as the LSC singles champion.
Give it. I will rate this fucking movie. Give me a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Is the video store sponsored by LOC singles champion? By
No.
LOC?
Oh, no, especially not after the conversations that have happened.
That is funny.
As the League of Cinephiles singles champion, I give this movie 2.5 stars.
I think the champion has spoken. All right, well, let's move on to our second movie, Rob Zombie's The Devil's Rejects. Mike, tell us a little bit about The Devil's Rejects.
Oh yeah, so we follow the Firefly family of Baby, Otis, and Captain Spaulding. Now, from the original House of a Thousand Corpses, you see them as just straight up monsters. Characters show up at their house, they get fucked up. You don't really get to see a lot of them. It's all at night. They are hidden in darkness a lot of the time. You just see how brutal they are. This movie changes that perspective completely. He makes them basically three-dimensional characters, and to where you actually get to go on a journey with them because the psychotic sheriff, Wydell, but played by fucking William Forsythe in an insane role. His brother was killed by them in 1,000 Corpses, so he goes for his revenge. He goes to attack their house, where he ends up arresting the mother and killing Rufus Firefly, played by Tyler Mane, which is a fucking awesome little small part that he has in it. And they go on, and Baby and Otis go on the run, where they meet up with Captain Spaulding, which turns out to be their father, and they are hunted down.
I think it's Baby's father. I'm not sure.
Father, yeah,
it's not Otis' father.
And they are basically hunted down throughout this entire movie by William Forsythe. They go to a motel where all hell breaks loose because they need a car, and they actually are trying to get out of the public space. What I love about this movie is the fact that Rob Zombie went, you know what? I did House of a Thousand Corpses, where it takes place all at night. I want to actually show horror in the daylight, and he does. Because this movie, for the majority of the runtime, takes place during the day in this western-ass atmosphere that he has. It's insane in the best way. The kills are great, and fucking Otis, Bill Moseley as Otis, is incredible in this movie.
Rob Zombie has the gall to ask the audience to like these people.
Well, he's not the only one who's done that. American Psycho, Dexter.
Yeah,
dude, it's not. I mean, it's not on the same level. Like, by the time he comes and gives us the let's get some tutti frutti ice cream, tutti frutti, and you have the whole fucking lovely scene, everybody's laughing. Like, Sid Haig is lovable as fuck. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just have to love Captain Spaulding. But the whole scene there, he's like, yeah, come on, identify with it. We're all human. By this time, we've all seen House of a Thousand Corpses, and we have seen the fucking massacre at the motel of the fucking Devil's Rejects. I'm like, dude, the fuck, man? No, fuck these people. Still, though, I would say like House of a Thousand Corpses is more of a haunted house kind of movie.
Yeah,
like
it's a straight up monster movie.
Like, it kind of feels like a haunted maze from Universal Studios.
Yeah,
it's in that like darkness and lights and scares and stuff like and then this one is like like this is the guys after they do the shift at work and they're hanging around at their house the next morning. People go to fucking bother them. Something like that.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I was not the biggest fan of this movie.
This is the best of the bunch.
I would personally disagree, but yeah, I think this movie just might not have been for me, and I think you said it, Nazario. I totally understand the idea of putting yourself, of taking a movie and putting you in like the eyes of a serial killer and like following them, and I don't have an issue with that. I think it just came down to the fact that I just didn't like the characters. I think some of the actors are good. I do think Bill Moseley is still a lot of fun here. I think Sid Haig is fun. As someone who's seen Rob Zombie's Halloween and now this one, Rob Zombie, you got to stop casting your wife in these movies. I'm sorry. I just don't think Cheryl Moon Zombie is that great of an actress. William Forsythe is awesome, though.
He also cast her in The Monsters.
Ooh, is she good in that movie?
No.
Of course. But, like, William Forsythe is maybe playing the least ethical cop you will ever see. Like he is in the witness booth, like he is questioning a suspect, and he's straight up beating him up while his lawyer is right there. So like this
I love the fact that he's like talking himself to follow the book,
Oh
and
yeah.
then he sees the like the spirit or ghost of his brother. He's like, oh man, I'm trying to toe the line. It's so hard with these fucking monsters. I just want to do it right. And the ghost of the brother is like, no, fuck them, kill them all. He's like, oh yeah, good shit. Let's fucking do that.
so
That's
early
pretty
in this movie, and I need to get this off my chest. Early in this movie, Otis and Baby, specifically, because Captain Spaulding has not met up with him yet. They meet a family, a
Two
two
families.
husbands, two husbands and two families in a motel.
Yeah.
They're maybe the dumbest people I think I've seen in a horror movie in a while, and the way they both die are insane. Mike, why don't you tell them how the group of men die?
Okay,
Uh,
so Bill Moseley takes him to get the stash of guns, and what is? Oh my God, I'm gonna forget his fucking name right now. It is Lou Temple. Lou Temple ends up attacking Bill Moseley because he's behind him with a big ass stick, like the walking tall, like fucking Bill Moseley ends up saying. They knock him to the ground, and he's just beating the shit out of him, and he's trying to tell Roy to get the gun. But Roy is just so like bewildered about what the fuck is happening right now that he's barely trying to get the gun, and Bill Moseley is able to get the upper hand. He ends up using the gun to shoot Lou Temple in the neck, and then he just starts pistol whipping the shit out of Roy, and then hits him in the nuts with the stick to basically take him out. And then he comes over to Lou Temple and just basically fucks with him the entire time. He's calling him shit stain beforehand.
Hey, you're forgetting the best line. I am the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's work.
Yeah. The
Fucking
Manson fucking line.
badass.
Yeah, the Manson line is fucking perfect.
Okay, so the first thing I gotta ask is one, the Otis is over here just getting God, jeez, I was not expecting that. Otis is over here just getting pummeled with a stick, and somehow is able to get up and finish the job. Is Otis like a superhuman in
No, you
this?
have to look at it. It's two guys that don't really know how to fight. They're not fighters.
Okay.
And if you're looking at how Lou Temple is hitting him, he's completely off balance. And that's how Bill Moseley was able to kick him in the chest because the dude is off balance hitting him. Like, these guys are not killers at all. They're just two guys. And it's mainly one who's actually trying to do the damage. And he doesn't really know what the hell he's doing. Otis is a fucking serial killer. This dude has probably killed the majority of fucking people that they have killed in the Firefly family is probably by him.
When the one guy is yelling at his friend to get the gun, and the other guy is so like, oh, I was like, what are we doing here? But I don't think that even crosses the stupidity of their wives that end up getting killed by Baby.
Yeah, one is in the bathroom trying to yell out the window while the main chick is holding the gun
Holding the gun, yes.
and is trying to get her friend out of the bathroom. And Baby is telling her, you need me because my brother's a fucking psycho, while she has a knife behind her back. Just fucking chucks it at her. Gets her right in the chest.
I think I'm gonna. I have a question for you, Pace.
Yes.
Do you think that what put you off about the movie was the realism, or was it the sexual assault?
I mean the sexual assault stuff definitely did take me out.
Snowflake.
There it is. I hope it doesn't rust the barrel. Such a fucking lie.
horrible.
Jesus Christ.
Horrible. Nazario, I'll be honest. I understand the tone this movie was going for. I just don't think I liked it. And I think that's the main issue. I understand the appeal. Like, I understand why someone can watch this movie and think this is a heck of a good time. But, like,
It's not. I don't think it's meant to be a good time.
okay. Yeah.
I think this is
Oh yeah, not at all.
the one time. This is the one time. Maybe two. Halloween 2 is a very, very weird thing to compare these two. But I think those are the two times that Rob Zombie did whatever the fuck he wanted to do.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he had
this-
carte blanche
yeah.
to do whatever he wanted with this movie.
In that movie and this one. And in this one, what he decided was that he was going to do the most low budget, realistic, psychotic family film he could and show them as the worst fucking people he could show them while keeping their humanity, which he doesn't achieve. I think that he fails at that. But then he also tries to pull the fucking flip in the end with the sheriff, like, now who's the monster? No, they're still the monsters. He's a fucking
Technically, they're both monsters at this time.
yes.
They're both
But,
monsters.
but one is not gonna redeem the other, is what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What the one thing I'm saying is, if you look at this as what he was trying to achieve and what the movie result is, I really think this is a very successful movie. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I'm saying that, especially as a sequel to A House of a Thousand Corpses, which is a fucking piece of shit. I don't know if Mike likes it, but that movie sucks.
I rewatched it recently, and it's not as bad as I remember it.
I don't know, man. The last time I watched it, I was like, "What is this? Another Rob Zombie, White Zombie music video?" It felt about the same. Like it didn't feel like he took it as seriously as his horror movie was supposed to be. I didn't like it. I be honest, I watched it once in my life, and it was like 20 years ago. I hated it, so I actually had to be convinced to watch this because I hadn't. I just did it for this show, and I was like, "Fucking Rob Zombie, man!"
Yeah, and I want to bring up the cast here because there's a cast of horror icons throughout the
Fucking
movie.
cast.
There's Ken Foree, who is fucking awesome as Captain Spaulding's my brother. There.
Charlie.
Yep, you got Lou Temple, who I already brought up. You got Diamond Dallas Page and fucking Danny Trejo together, which is fucking awesome. Those two guys are fucking awesome.
They come in as like these rogue cops.
Yeah, you got Brian Posehn as a little roadie that gets killed right away. You got Michael Berryman from Hills Have Eyes and a couple other horror things playing as Ken Foree's partner. You got PJ Souls. You got Daniel Roebuck on the TV. You got Tyler Mane, who I brought up, and then you have Kane Hodder as a gas mask officer who gets shot. It's just filled. Like, the one thing with Rob Zombie, love or hate his movies, you can tell that man loves horror movies.
Yeah,
He
no.
loves the horror genre.
Like, okay,
Mason, before we change about the casting, did you see who was playing Mother Firefly?
I don't think
Oh,
I
yeah.
did. Who was that?
That's Callahan from the Police Academy movies.
Thank you, Nazario. Thank you.
They actually recast her because she was not in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know who the other actress was, but it was not her.
But yeah, the thing that kills me about I think Rob Zombie is like I can tell he loves horror movies and I can tell he loves movies in general. I just cannot get behind his directing style. And this reminds me of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Nazario, which is a movie I personally despise. And
What?
I think it's Nazario.
Nazario, you know the majority of people.
But the White Horseman.
That's the worst part. That's the worst part. The
I'm
thing
not
that
gonna
kills
argue with your nonsense.
is that he shoots his movies like music videos, and which for a music video is fine, but for a full hour 40 movie, eventually I'm just nauseated by the end.
I
I'll
will
give
say
you this.
this probably has one of the greatest horror endings. The way he's able to take this is the thing. This is the
Yeah.
second movie he had directed at this point. A guy that's able to take a scene where there's no dialogue, where it's just music and visuals, and pull it off as fucking fantastic as he does is an insane task because most people cannot do that. Having
Oh,
the free bird throughout that, having the car, having them all beat up because of Owen Forsyth torturing the shit out of all three of them, and just a gun battle at the end of them driving, knowing that they're gonna die while doing this is just fucking great.
I'll say this about his directing style. Most of the things I've watched from Zombie, I hated. I did not like House of a Thousand Corpses. Halloween 1, I thought it was fine. Halloween 2, at least I thought it was interesting. I think the first one felt like an exercise in futility because he did add a little thing here and there, but I feel like he was pretty much limited what he could do with the Halloween movie. And to do a straight up remake, most of the time is a waste of time. It felt kind of like Gus Van Sant's Psycho. And everybody knows Gus Van Sant is a great fucking director. But that movie is not good. And it's basically because I don't think they let him do enough weird shit with the property. So when they let him do the weird shit, Halloween 2, which most people hate, I get it, at least it's interesting to me. Like it has something to offer. I think so far this is the best movie I have seen from his directing style, mainly because even though it has those music video flourishes, most of the movie is just straight up shot like a fucking western. It feels
Oh
like
yeah,
that, like
no,
an
yeah,
old
it
time.
is. It is 100% a horror western.
I haven't seen Three from Hell. I don't know if he kept the same style. I hope he did
It's
because if
on a
he
more independent scale for sure.
and the monsters is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I do want to piggyback off what you said. I do think it's a really, really cool ending, and or I want to piggyback off what Mike said. No, I think that ending shot is really, really cool with Freebird playing, and I think that would have been a really cool way for this two-film franchise to end with them riding off into the sunset, knowing that's not their death, knowing that they survived that. I'm a little confused,
Well,
but seeing the next movie, so
I will say this: they actually do
I
die.
just got a scam a job offer.
thank
They
you.
do actually die, and they come back from hell. That's why they call Three from Hell because they come back from hell. That's how it is. So they actually do die.
Okay, that's
Yeah. I will say this: if he did want to do a sequel for sure. The time to do it was right after the first one, right after the second one. That was the time. And those 2 years afterwards, that was the time to do it if he wanted to do it. Waiting the years that he did, Sid Haig was already on his way out because of his health issues. He could barely get him for like 2 scenes because his health issues were just so bad. And they were just all at the point where he didn't have the budget anymore that he used to have to do shit like this.
yeah.
He probably should have done it before he did Halloween.
Before he did Halloween, yeah, no, that
Or between Halloween one.
Halloween, yeah.
Honestly, like I don't know why he decided to go back to this. Like I actually took off half a star of my original rating because of the sequel. Because I think it kind of fucks the ending of this movie because it feels perfect.
But you say you judge the movie on its own merit. That's what you always say. So now you change
True.
it, bitch? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, but retrospectively, it kind of shippens the movie. So
okay. Here's the thing, Nazario. If that was planned for like the original, like if when he wrote the ending to this, if that was planned,
no,
I would kind of understand your thought process.
I don't think it was planned at all.
No, but like if it wasn't planned, I don't think it's fair to judge that this movie.
This trilogy is as planned as the last trilogy of Star Wars film.
Okay, I don't think anyone would argue that. Mike, what was your favorite scene in this movie?
Oh, I have two of them. The motel scene is fucking fantastic. Actually, no, I have three. I'm bringing up three of them. That scene, Diamond Dallas Page and Danny Trejo, that scene, again, was just all, for the most part, all music. And they show up at Ken Fareed's like prostitution house and proceed to beat the living shit out of Bill Moseley, who's already fucked up at this point. He's already been through a lot of shit. So he is definitely not at his full force, but Diamond Dallas Page just fucks his shit up. And then they bring out Baby, and then of course Willem Forsythe shoots Sid Haig in the knee, and then the ending. The ending I've always loved because I think it's just a perfect way to end this movie.
No, that's fair. Nazario, what's your favorite scene in this movie?
I have a few. Actually, there's like a couple of moments I would like to mention. The first one I would say is when Sid Haig needs a car and he slaps the shit out of that woman and jumps in the car and the kid is crying and he's like, "Why are you crying?" He's like, "I don't like clowns." "Why do you not like clowns? Am I not fucking funny enough for you?" That is not a good reason. If you don't give me a good reason why you hate clowns, I'm gonna fucking kill you and your mother. That was
And then he just drives away.
Yeah,
fucking gold. Fucking gold. And the other moment, Mike knows what's up. Hey man, if you're ever horny, you grab a chicken, you cut off her head, you shove a dick in, and she goes. And then fucking Charlie goes like, "So you're telling me I put my dick in the chicken and cut off her head? It's gonna go."
And then he points to fucking Cleavon, Michael Berryman, and goes, "I know this guy fucks." So fucking good.
Dude, that is so fucking out of nowhere. And I was like, the last thing I expected those two people to talk about was that. I was fucking laughing my ass off in that. That was fucking great.
I think my favorite scene is probably the Marty Walker scene with the film critic when they realize that all the Firefly family are named after Marx Brothers characters. Yeah. And so he just comes in and he's there for like 30 seconds. And then William Forsythe's just like, "You're annoying. Go away."
He insults Elvis and fucking goes.
That's the guy with the mustache, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I will say, one of the best lines of this movie is when Bill Moseley's at the horror house. He goes, "I always set my standards pretty low, so I'm never disappointed." Fucking perfection. Just pure gold.
As we move on to ratings, would you like me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand the appeal. It just wasn't for me. You guys, the way you guys talked made me reconsider certain things. I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 stars.
You didn't understand shit.
Fair.
Damn.
I know where Mike's going. Nazario, why don't you go next?
In my official position as the League of Cinephiles singles trivia champion, trivia clash,
That belt.
I
cannot wait till you lose that.
I originally was gonna give this movie 4 out of 5 stars. I'm sticking with my disappointment of the ending that I think it ruined a perfect ending for a movie. 3.5.
Mike.
Oh, this is a quintessential great fucking movie. 5 stars. I love the shit out of this movie. I saw this in the theater. I've seen this so many times over the years, and I get enjoyment for it every fucking time.
You rewatched it today, right?
Oh yeah, I watched it with my special lady friend.
Let's go, Mike. That's how
Mike, you have a woman.
Yes, let's move forward.
Our final film tonight, if you can call it that, is Repo, the Genetic Opera, a adaptation of a musical from 2002, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman of the Saw films, I believe. And the general synopsis for this movie is in the 2050s, repossessing organs has become legal, and there's a new company called GeneCo that will sell out organs, and you have to make contractual payments to them. And if you don't, and if you fail to make those payments, these supposed repo men will come and try to essentially cut the organs out of you and kill you. And one repo man.
I mean, to be fair, if it's like an organ that you do not need to live, you can still live. They just want the fucking organ.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. But one of the Repo Men, played by Anthony Head, is having second thoughts about this profession. And the main company of GeneCo is starting to have borderline succession issues with deciding who's going to be the new head of the company. And yeah, their songs. 99% of the human population has been wiped out. Mike, what were your general thoughts on this movie?
I mean, if you guys have seen Succession, it's exactly the same.
Oh, it's the exact same. It's the exact same.
Yeah, I enjoy the hell out of this movie. I never gravitate really towards musicals a lot of the time, but this one I fucking gravitated towards right away. And the songs are catchy. The performance is all fun. Paul Sorvino in this is fucking awesome. Anthony Head is awesome. Bill Moseley, of course, is amazing in this.
Nazari, what did you overall think about this movie?
The first time I watched it, I liked it a lot. Like I really did. Like mostly because like most people have an issue with musicals. I don't. Like if the music doesn't feel unnecessary or intrusive to the story you're trying to pitch me, I will take it. And basically, this is kind of a rock opera, which is kind of up my alley. And I actually really enjoy several of the music pieces that they made for this film. I actually really like Anthony Head because I'm a Buffy fan. So
Yeah.
watching my man Giles get his chance to shine is good shit. I love Paul Sorvino trying to give some gravitas to this thing, and his three children are just fucking nonsense. By the way, I don't usually like Paris Hilton, but mad respect for her because apparently she actually took out money out of her own pocket at several points during this production to keep it going because she really wanted the movie to be done. So, prop for her. Other than that, like I think it has a really strong idea. It's a really strong start. At some point, though, it kind of loses a bit and it lands somewhere. It's positive. It's a positive impression, but it's like it could have been so much greater if they had just more oomph.
I definitely would agree with you where I do think for the first half of this movie I'm in. Like I'm having so much fun. I think towards the second half of the movie is where it starts to lose me a little. But I'll be honest, and I was giving one of my friends crap for this. One of my friends has the Rocky Horror Picture Show at 4 stars, and this movie at 1 star. And I'll be honest, I don't see how you can love one of these and not like the other. Like that is what I was thinking when I was watching this movie. It is like intentionally campy in like a really fun ways. Like the production design weirdly looks like a low grade porno, and I think it kind of helps like how like cheap everything looks. Like I think it's a lot of fun. I think some of the songs are good. I think there's one particular song that is absolutely the best song, which I'll talk about that for my favorite scene.
All I wanted.
Not what I was thinking, but solid song overall. Mike, do you think the first half is probably better than the second half, or do you think they balance each other out?
I think the first half is definitely the stronger half for sure.
And Nazario, yeah, you definitely said that, Nazario. But yeah, like Anthony Head weirdly sells this role, like his song "Legal Assassin," where you're going through the minutia of his mind and how he's starting to feel sad about everything he does. And yeah, like being a repo man would really, really suck when you think about it. Like it just sounds like a depressing job overall. Okay, it's weird. I wrote down in my notes. I was like, was there a point where I think the movie kind of lost me? And I think the moment where like the woman has her eyes like ripped out on stage, I was like, okay.
She rips her own size, man.
Yeah.
She's making a point. By the way, that's fucking Sarah Brightman. Amazing. Listen to her shit. Great fucking music.
Yeah, a blind mag. I definitely think one of the weaker aspects of this movie is probably the stuff with the main character of Shiloh. I I don't think. Okay.
Played
What?
by Spy Kid Alexa Vega.
Yep, played by Alexa Vega.
Which I will say with her, I do love that she's gone the Elijah Wood and like Daniel Radcliffe approach of going through a franchise and then just going, I now have the money to do whatever the fuck I want to do, so I'm gonna do these weird fucking movies like Machete, like this.
No, yeah, and like she doesn't have like the best singing voice in the world. I don't think most people in this movie have the best. Garth, why?
Put some respect on Paul Sorvino, though. That man has a fucking opera voice.
Paul Sorvino is hamming the heck out of this movie, and I loved it. I loved it. Yeah. Bill Moseley is wild. Like when his siblings are fighting, and he's just like, brother and sister should just fuck already. I was like, oh, what did you think about Bill Moseley in this movie, Mike?
Oh, I absolutely love him in this part. Like he is little bits and pieces throughout, but each scene he has, you fucking follow him. You're fucking there for him each time. He's fucking awesome. He takes the role and he makes it his like usual.
And I love the fact that, like, his sister is addicted to surgeries for some reason. And the other guy just wants fucking faces. Who plays fucking, what's his name? Pavi. Who plays Pavi?
Pavi is, let me get the.
Yes.
Yes.
Gareth.
Isn't Giles
He's a singer, right? Mike?
Nivik Ogre.
Yeah, well, he's a singer, right?
I believe so. Let me check. Yes, he is. He is a musician.
Yeah. He's a fucking, I forgot what the band is. But then fucking Bill Moseley is just a fucking madman because his sister has the addiction to surgery thing. Bobby has the face thing. Ooh, I just want beautiful faces. And this guy just wants to fucking kill people. Like the nurse shows up and he just fucking, I'm fucking angry, and he fucking shoves the knives all over her and kills her. I was like, okay, that's a choice.
What I usually we ask like what's your favorite scene in this movie in movies. I want to ask a different question with this one. Do you guys have a favorite song out of all the songs in this film? Because I definitely have one of my.
I really like Legal Assassin. I like Things You See in the Graveyard. But I actually think, like, mostly because of her singing voice and her thing, I'm gonna give props to Blind Max when she's revealing that she's the godmother. That's the all I wanted that she projects, like the video of Marnie with her eyes. I really dig that song. But damn it, if I'm not gonna give props to Anthony Hedberg, damn Marnie, I could forget you for this. Good shit. Love the music in this movie, for the most part. Paris Hilton can't sing for shit though.
Oh no, yeah. Mike, did you have a favorite song in this movie?
Oh yeah, Zydrate Anatomy. It's been my favorite since I first watched it. I fucking love the shit out of it. It's so great.
That song goes so hard. Terrence Dunich plays the grave robber, and just the Zydrate comes in a little glass vial, and you take the vial and you insert it into the gun like a battery. I just had so much fun with that song.
That's the one that he ends with. It's my time to take and rob graves. It's the same song, right?
Jinko contract has very fine print. Very fine print.
No, like that was the moment where I was like, do I love this movie? And I don't think it quite reaches the highs of that scene again. But yeah, I had fun with this movie. Now I'll be honest, if you asked me to explain like the major plot of this movie, like involving like the family stuff, like Anthony Head's character is like kind of involved with Alexa Vega's, but like that kind of comes to the end, kind of comes to a head towards the end. I wasn't like super invested in that, but like the style and like the production of it definitely kept me invested.
I want to give more props to fucking Paul Sorvino because
Oh
that
yeah.
man, that man just like he's hamming it up, but he even that as it is, he brings so much class to that role, and he's such a jackass too. Like I'm telling you, man, this is straight up Succession.
Yeah.
He's like, Roti, your king is dying. Who will inherit Jinko? I'll keep those bolters guessing. And the fucking thing is like, hey, by the end of the movie, what happened to Jinko?
Yeah. The company was up for grabs in the end. Anyone can control of it. Um, I believe they wanted to make a sequel to this movie, but when you see the box office, it only cost 8.5 million, but it only made 180,000. So like, was this movie like super limited release, or like did it have a wide release? You guys were there, I
This
guess.
director has a very hard time getting movies off the ground. He also did the Devil's Carnival, which again didn't really make a lot of money. Unfortunately, he just does these movies that are not for everyone, and it definitely shows.
No, that's fair. Like um, obviously you guys showed Holtzman this movie, and Holtzman
Yes,
wanted to die while watching. Uh, I had a lot more fun than Holtzman, but I
he
understand.
hated the music. He says that the music choices were bad.
Holtzman can have some weird music choices sometimes, but
I mean, the man likes Evan Hansen, and that movie's a piece of shit.
that is true. Yeah, he stands Ben Platt, and I don't often understand.
The rapist guy pretending to be a teenager. Yes.
No, okay. Who wants to give star ratings first?
I'll go first since I haven't gone first. Yeah, I had a fun time with this. I've watched it a few times at this point. It's a good fucking movie to me. 4 stars.
4 stars.
This movie was released back at the time before streaming services, and since I live in a third world country, sometimes you just have to take a chance with movies in those cases because we didn't even get this on video here. So you hear some shit on YouTube and you find, hey, that sounds interesting, and it's fucking Bill Moseley and it's fucking Anthony Head. So I just go online and I bought it blindly. I got DVD, I watched it. I did actually that with a bunch of movies, which is why I have some random shit. Uh, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I didn't love it, which I wanted to. So I think originally I was in the 3.5 range, but I think it's like 3.25. So in my official position as the League of Cinephiles singles champion trivia clash, I'm gonna give this movie 3.25.
Fair. You know what? It's our show. We're not beholden to letterboxed rules. Uh, this was probably my favorite movie I watched this week of all the three, but I hesitate to call it better than TCM Part Two.
It is.
Uh, so I can't call it a good movie, but I'm giving it a very fun 2.5 out of 5.
Oh, come on, man. At least
I
three.
can't get it. There are too many flaws. I think it does have. It falls apart towards the second half. But like, I would watch it again. Like if either of you were like, "Yo, I'm in Arizona. Let's watch Reef of the Genetic Opera." I'm down to watch it.
Good shit.
Yeah. What was your guys' favorite movie you guys watched this week?
Definitely the Devil's Rejects. I think it's the most efficient and the most successful on what it's trying to do. Then
Hey,
Repo, then Texas, because that movie's a mess.
Yeah, I have
uh,
Devil's Rejects. I got then Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then I got Repo.
Did
and
you
I
like
would
everything?
yeah.
I like all three of these. Yeah, of course. I
No,
picked
Mike.
them.
Mike is a beautiful man. He loves movies. Can't deny that. I would probably go Repo, then Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, then Devil's Rejects.
The fuck is wrong with this kid?
It's pacing, man.
Yeah, come on.
These are not his fucking movies at all.
By
All
the
right.
way, congratulations on getting an actual webcam that doesn't make you look round.
Thank you. Yes, yeah. This is the first time on Video Store Movie Club that I'm debuting the non-fisheye lens, and I like this webcam way more than my last one.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, would you guys mind if I share the theme for next month, or I guess this month now?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
All right. So coming up,
Don't suck.
I do not think you will. I think you will like this theme. So when I was thinking of a theme, I'm going to be choosing two certain directors, and I'm going to be choosing that are very famous for one specific movie and specifically a trilogy, and we're going to be covering movies that are not that trilogy. So on May 25th, we are going to be coming back here at ADST Live, and we are going to be talking about the Wachowski sisters' non-Matrix films. The movies I chose: Bound, Speed Racer, and Jupiter. And no, not Jupiter Ascending. Cloud Atlas. Cloud Atlas are the three
Shit,
films
okay.
that
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think we can have.
You almost shot the bed right there.
Yes, I did. I really I was thinking about Jupiter Ascending, but I was like, nah, let's not do that one. I've seen Speed Racer. I really love that one. I've wanted to watch Bound and Cloud Atlas for a while. So I'm excited for that. Mike Missouri, what do you think of that theme?
I love Speed Racer. Like that fucking movie, man. That is a movie that deserved to find an audience, and it did. And I don't understand why. Every single time I watch that movie, it just pumps me the fuck up.
It's
That
great.
is a 5-star movie if I ever seen one. I haven't seen Bound in a long time. I remember loving it in the 90s, but I never went back. I mean, it's it's sexy time shit. So it's not like you can like just put that movie on. You need to get in the mood. But I never actually seen Cloud
So
Atlas.
he hasn't been in the mood in 20 plus years. Waiting for the
But I actually never seen Cloud Atlas. I've heard things like
Yeah.
some people say it's fucking beautiful and great. Other people tell me it's a piece of shit. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I will watch it.
And
They do say that actors paint themselves from other races, which yikes.
yeah, I think we're gonna have a very interesting conversation about that. Mike, are you excited for next month?
Oh yeah, I enjoy all three of these movies, so it's gonna be a fun time.
Sweet. Thank you all for
Isn't
watching.
Cloud Atlas like 5 hours?
It's like
It's,
2.5.
It's not 5 hours, but yeah, it's 2.5. You watched a 4-hour cut of fucking Justice League, bitch. You can watch a fucking 2.5 hours of
That
Cloud.
is a perfect ass movie.
Okay, before we leave, we gotta highlight Garth's final comment.
You know what? I probably should have DNA tested those.
Thank you all for coming on this week. Sorry for the delayed week response. Blame this guy. But video store is always great. Like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe, and buy our shit. And
Hey, it's TLU coming out or what? Like, what is happening there?
They have the videos. They've been recording them, so
Boom! Coming
Yeah.
soon, bitch. I don't know when, but it's coming up.
Trivia League Unlimited. We'll see you guys next month on May 25th. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Do you want me to end the broadcast?